What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video I have a clear of the inverted Spire. This is with a fire team, but I did take this build to the final boss and died in the dumbest way imaginable, and it just kind of put me off because I don't like this rework to inverted Spire for solos. I think it's a slog. I really hate the tank section. It's kind of just long for the sake of being long, so I don't really have a desire to solo it. Maybe I'll change my mind when it's back in rotation instead of from the node. But for now, I just thought I would show kind of the best strats to use. These do work solo. Like I said, I got to the very end of the boss, but died in a ridiculous way, which I'll talk about when I get there. But I'm using a Lucky Raspberry build with arc bolts and jolt grenades. So we have Facet of Dominance on so that our arc can apply Jolt. And then these guys, here's kind of what they were using. These are just two random LFGs that I found. Both using pulse rifles, which is interesting considering there's no unstops. And then, anyway, you know how it is. I'm not going to pick apart their builds. They were fine. We got through it. And what's nice is we got through it a lot quicker than you would solo. Because like I said, it's kind of a slog solo. And I just, like I said, I know I could beat it. I got to the boss with this build because I was trying to learn the spawns to make this commentary video, but I just can't really be bothered to do it. But I will talk about everything. So what you want to do off the start is come over here. Even if you were solo, you want to take out these 3 harpies, and then this is a really good spot to work from when you're solo. So obviously my teammates are just taking on the overload down there. And then that harpy just disappeared because the teleporting ads have been out of control this season. And it's just getting really old and really annoying, especially for solos. Like I said, it's another reason that I'm kind of souring on solo GMs, because when you just die to stupid shit 40 minutes into a run, it just pisses you off. So anyways, that's what I would do normally when I'm solo, is I just go up there, and then I work on the 2 overloads, and then I jump down and take out the other overload. I'm throwing my arc bolt grenade constantly. I've got Darcy on and the long arm for anti-barrier. Darcy is really nice because it jolts from a distance, and jolt is amazing in this GM, which I'll talk about. So you come over here, and all you have to do is take out this Hydra. So 3 shots from your Darcy will do it because we have Arc Surge and Stasis Surge. So Darcy is getting that 25% extra damage. Once that's down, you take out those 2 boxes, and then you zip over here. And then again, just find an angle. You can shoot through his shield. So I could have thrown a melee there to proc Radiant, but sometimes they miss those enemies because they're far away. But when you are Radiant, it will shoot through that Hydra shield. But I chose to just save my melee, readjust, wait for the shield to rotate around, and then we take them out. And then these ads will despawn. So Void Threat is on. You could see I was taking some pretty good damage from that Minotaur. And now we're zipping to the next part. So you just jump over these things. And ad priority is huge in any GM, but especially this one. Like I said, those harpies are what you want to focus on first. Here, you want to focus on these Cyclops. So we take out the one. We come over here and take out the other. Watch out for those barrier hobs. They do hit really hard. I have Threaded Spectre to... I can't hit my shots. I have Threaded Spectre to distract the enemies as well, which is really nice. Here we get a Jolt Grenade out, and then we kill the jolted enemies. We get Arc Bolt energy back. So yeah, it's just a really good build for this GM. Again, I love going off meta. And like I said, I took this build all the way to the boss, and it worked really, really well, to be honest. So yeah, these hobs hurt a lot. So I took a couple shots, so we're just going to... So I don't know what this guy was doing. I was like, okay, my teammate's taking on that champion. I'll just focus on this one. But I guess he went back to go get the res or something and just let this guy regen all his health. It's fine. It's whatever. Like I said, I can pretty much just handle the GM by myself. It's just I kept dying in like the dumbest ways solo. And I was just kind of sick of it because I don't like running this GM solo. It's not fun. I feel like, what am I trying to say? So like Tomb of Elders is good. A lot of people mistake being long for good. I hate the Choir of One exotic mission, whatever that was called, Encore or whatever. I think it's long and boring and tedious. Whisper of the Worm, and oh my god. The Outbreak Perfected mission. Why can't I think of the name of it? 0 Hour. Top tier, S tier exotic missions. Both 20 minutes long on the hardest difficulty. Like, you don't need a long mission for it to be amazing. This just feels like it's long for the sake of being long, and I don't like that personally. It's just not what I'm into. So yeah, will I solo this? I don't know. But I just wanted to make this guide because I do have lots of good info on the spawns and stuff. You can still learn a lot even though I'm in a fire team, because all my positioning is all the same strats I did as a solo. It's just, it's much quicker because we have 3 people. And I don't think most people are going to be farming this solo anyways, because it's not a good farm to do solo. So there you can see Darcy absolutely ripping through that barrier hob. And then there's all these enemies down low. So what I would normally do is throw a jolt grenade. Obviously my teammate took them out. But normally I would just throw a jolt grenade to take them all out. And here again you can see jolt, so nice. And then the area denial frame is actually really nice as well. So I didn't hit that one hobgoblin. But what overload actually does is it disrupts enemies' like attacks. So if you hit them with an overload GL, they're not going to shield those hobgoblins, which is really, really cool. So it's good to hit them first with an overload GL, because then they're not going to put up their shield and regenerate health. So once you take out all those enemies, these guys spawn in. What you want to do is leave that left cage, but I think my teammate, yeah, right there, he shoots it. So that releases a bunch of, there's 2 gladiators and a barrier colossus, and you can see they die. So don't shoot that until these enemies that I'm dealing with are dead. The 2 minotaurs and all those other enemies. Because you're just going to have more enemies on the field than you need. You can control the spawns by just not shooting that box. And then after so many ads are killed or whatever, I'm not sure exactly the trigger, these harpies do spawn. So you have to watch out for them. It's probably just to keep you from standing on this ledge. But yeah, where those teammates are is probably not ideal positioning. I definitely think just work from this ledge. You can see everything. Like you can see I've got a drain wyvern, and I'm just able to break line of sight so it can't keep draining me. And we just keep spamming our transcendence and just going in on them all. And eventually they all die. So that box, that opens the gate. You want to wait to shoot that box, I think. So there's actually an ammo box in here, an ammo crate, which I'm going to right now. I don't know if it despawns when you shoot that box, but it's probably best because see there's that little diamond, and then you can fill up all your ammo. So that's another thing. Use a ton of your ammo there, expend everything, because once you're done that room, you can go pick up that ammo and refresh everything. So that's just going to help speed up the mission because you can just use all your best, whatever your heavy and special is, just spam it. And once everything's dead, you can just replenish it. But like I said, I don't know if that crate goes away once you shoot the box. Luckily, my teammates didn't shoot the box, so we were chilling. So here, I'm just going to speed this up. This part, you just want to keep the high ground and just take the enemies out one by one. I probably should have thrown an arc bolt. It would have got them down quicker. And then these guys are priority targets. Here, I can't hit my shots. When I was solo, I freaking nailed both my crits. It was so nice. But of course, in the video that goes on YouTube, I keep missing shots, but it's all right. But yeah, take them out first because they can actually snipe you up on the cliffs, where all the other stuff, not really a threat as long as you maintain the high ground. So here we got a barrier hob. I really like this long arm, and it's excellent for this mission in particular. See, if I had got that GL on that guy earlier, he wouldn't have put up his shield because of overload GL and disrupting their attacks. What was I saying? I can't even remember now. Oh yeah, long arm. So there's so many arc shielded harpies, so it works really good. So there, normally what I do is I throw my I thought my melee was gonna come back. It just was like just off cooldown. So normally I throw my super at the first one, deal with the first set of ads, and then I take the other one out just from afar with overload GL and arc bolt grenades and stuff. But my teammate obviously shot the one, and then I just shot the other. So as a solo, what you want to do here is take everything out methodically, but in a team, what I wanted to do is speed this up because I absolutely hate this section. I don't like running tanks. It's just annoying and boring. I like to play the actual game. So what I'm trying to do, this might not be the best route to take because I keep getting hung up on stuff. But what you want to do is push forward to the next Drake spawn. I think I die here, yeah, because there was actually a shock, or well, yeah, that was a shock bane. So really bad timing for me to get out of the tank. But yeah, you can just take out all the enemies if you so choose. Or what you can do is what I'm doing is run up to this Drake spot. One of you just has to get here as quick as you can and then drive this Drake forward, and that's going to spawn in the wyverns. Killing the wyverns is actually what will trigger the box to come up to allow you to break it, because you can see it's shielded right now. So look, I drive forward. That wyvern always comes out with a ground slam attack. So when I was solo, it actually deleted my tank because of its ground slam. But what happens is a Drake, at least when you're solo, will keep spawning on this plate that I just picked this Drake up from. So it's not like if this Drake blows up, I'm out of a tank. No, you can keep getting it from that plate. So see, I'm just purely focused on the wyverns, and now look, that box has opened up, so we're gonna shoot it, and now we're on to the next area, and all the rest of the enemies despawn. So right there, like I said, you want to try to rip forward as fast as you can in the tank. Obviously I died because I wasn't driving the tank very well. But if you can get up there in the tank, then switch tanks to a fresh one, and then just get those wyverns down ASAP, you're going to be chilling. So that's what you want to do there. Here, I'm just going to speed this up. Oh, actually, so up here was a box. Again, my teammate broke it. Especially if you're solo, you don't want to do that. You want to take out all the enemies outside the thing, and then you break that box, and then you kill all the enemies inside, and then you go in to start the plate. Obviously, in a team, you can play much more aggressively, so we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, normally that's how you'd want to do it. I thought they were going to focus the supplicant, because the supplicants are what's going to kill you, but they didn't, but it's all good. So yeah, that plate, you can go up top on the dome to take all those enemies out, and once they die, you can just cap the plate with no enemies. So that's what I would do solo. Obviously, this is much faster in a team. So again, what I was saying is when you break that, then you have access to the room. So I always work from up here. It's really good. So look, my jolt grenade jolts everything. That guy did a consecration slam. But normally, if I was solo, you want to jolt the champion, and then every time you're dealing damage to it, it will proc a jolt, and you can just get your arc bolt grenade back just from like 5 jolt procs. So it's really, really good. So there, I want to freeze the 1 Minotaur, and then we want to get the slow from the super on the overload Minotaur, because obviously that will stun him, and we want to freeze the orange bar Minotaur because he's going to be a threat, because he can't be stunned, he has to be killed, right? So that's why I threw my super like that. It's exactly what I would do as a solo. It's just like I said, if things got hairy, I would revert to the top of the building just to be safe. So I wanted to throw out a melee there to proc Radiant so that I can use Darcy to break the champion shield, but luckily my teammate just cast his T-Crash. So here again, what you can do is actually go back to the cliffside and just take out all these enemies from afar. That's what I did as a solo, but in a team, I'm playing more aggressively, obviously. Here, I can't really hit my crits because he's just being weird and I'm getting flinched. So I get a little low health there, but I'm just standing in. Jeez, cannot hit crits on that guy. Plus you have these Hydras. But like I said, I was playing very aggressive because I'm in a team and dying doesn't matter as much. Where if I was solo, I would just back up to like those domes, and you can just take out all the harpies from afar, take everything out, be really safe. Here, you have to watch out for those guys. There's 5 of them. But if you stand behind that thing, sometimes they'll actually just run into that, which is good. But yeah, so I throw an arc bolt to try to deal with the other enemies, and then I try to shoot those things immediately. Long arm can one-shot them, so it's really nice. And then I throw my jolt grenade down to try to take out the harpies and stuff, do a dodge to distract everything. And now here we're capping the plate, but you can come to the back and be safe. So the first spawn is from 0 to 33%, and it's mostly just fanatics, as you can see. So yeah, if you can take out those domes, then they're a little easier to shoot. And there's like 2 Minotaurs, I think. One left, one right. So yeah, we're just dealing with those Minotaurs. So again, this is exactly how I would play it as a solo. I would just, it would just take me longer, is all. So we actually clear the whole thing before 33%. So now we're going to get another spawn. So see how that guy just got captured? So when you get captured in those things, this is why you want to play back. Because I don't know where they spawn from, but you can see they're flying in on them here. They're very hard to shoot if you stay mid, because I have stayed mid before. And it takes you out of your super. So that's, like if you were in a roaming super, that's something you want to be cautious of. See, there's another one. It just kind of randomly spawns. So always just stay back here. It's by far the safest play. It's a little slower, but yeah, those guys do suppress you. You have to shoot your way out. I'm not sure what weapons are good for shooting yourself out, but I know my loadout is not good for getting out of those. So again, I'm just picking away at everything. Throw out an arc bolt, take out a bunch of fanatics. Like, arc bolts with Jolt are honestly really good in this. Like I said, I like to go off meta, but still try to pick something that's going to shine. And I really liked this build. Like, I died going into the final phase of the boss at around 45 minutes, I think. So that's pretty good time as a solo. But again, that's also really long. Like, I don't want to run this back again, because I just find it very boring. It's a lot of just sit back and whittle away on enemies. There, probably didn't need to cast my super, but I guess I should have. So look, our download progress now, we're coming up on 100%. So that's why I casted my super. Because once you hit 100%, you just have to take the rest of the enemies out. So what I'm trying to do here is just work quickly. I know I don't need my super for the next section, so I might as well cast it. And then, yeah, I don't know really where the enemies are, but Silence and Squall is really nice because it's just kind of gonna seek them out. So yeah, honestly, a pretty decent super pop actually. But I probably could have just killed that barrier first and then just cast it all to the left, because that's where the majority of the enemies were, I think. And yeah, you can see the long arm just putting in work. Now we have an overload. But when you're solo, you can literally just sit back here and deal with all this stuff. Enemies will TP up onto this platform. Like, I actually stay more mid so that I have cover. There, I was kind of just left side the whole time. But yeah, don't underestimate all those enemies shooting you either. So basically everything's dead. There's a heavy ammo crate again. So that's what's kind of unique with this. Use all your ammo here again. That's what's nice, is you don't have to worry about it. See, these guys didn't even know that. I type in fire team chat, I say ammo at back. They come back here. I picked it up. They're going to run back for it. Now there's some enemies inside here, and there's those suppressor guys. So I try to get a jolt grenade on them to kind of disrupt them, and then we shoot the things with our long arm. Again, it's excellent. We get that overload in a really good position. I don't like that he suspended them because they move too much. As a solo, I could take him down in like one stun if I can hit my Darcy shots, but when they're suspended like that, they move around, which is quite annoying. This is one reason I really do like playing solo. Obviously, stuff goes faster in a team, but I like having control over the enemies because I know how to manipulate enemies in this game. Again, we want to be using all our abilities and ammo, because there's actually going to be a rally flag before the boss. So yeah, you get tons of ammo in this, which I do like that, but I don't like how long everything is. So here, unfortunately, he freezes him, and then you can't see his shield. So that's actually a huge detriment to me, because normally I could just 3-shot him with Darcy, but now I just have to use my long arm because it's got anti-barrier. And then even here, I like to get those guys kind of stacked up together, but it is what it is. We react and adjust. Take the guy out. We took the other one out. Now here, as a solo, and especially because I have Darcy and I know there's a rally flag, I was taking out all these Cyclops as solo. See, that guy just took the eye blast full on. But yeah, the crappy thing with Cyclops is they're immune until you get to a certain range. But yeah, Darcy is really good here, and again, you don't have to worry about being low on ammo for boss because of the rally flag. So you could just move up and take out every Cyclops, very, very easily. And then there are fanatics, so you just have to be wary of them. So we're going to take them out. Maybe not, but we just do our little dodge. But yeah, you can also just run by everything. As long as you keep momentum and keep going and don't stop, the Cyclops probably isn't going to hit you. But just keep an eye on their eye blast. So you can see the homie died, but I want to wait so the one guy can rally the flag. So we're just going to speed this up. So he comes forward, and then this does pull his res forward. So now we take out the harpies, and then that's going to trigger the boss. And then once that happens, his spawn does come into boss room. I completely miss my entire lost signal shot. Huge. And then yeah, this part, everything's just health gates. So at certain health gates, enemies spawn. So you can see we have harpies coming in. So when I was solo here, all I was doing was I would rotate around out of line of sight of the boss and just take out the harpies. You can use Darcy as well to jolt them. You can use your arc bolt grenade. Long arm is really nice, as you can see. It's just a few shots. And then, yeah, because he's taking so much damage from my teammates, we actually get like 2 harpy spawns. But when you're solo, just take your time, deal with every ad spawn as it comes in. But in a team, that was actually kind of good for me because now there's more harpies stacked up. And then I was able to get a huge arc bolt on them. And you can see I almost have my arc bolt grenade back already. So here what I do is I go to a short pillar and I just kind of use it as cover. But see, that's a tall pillar and that's a tall pillar. But you use the short ones as cover and you can kind of avoid the boss, and he does his little slam attack that like lights the floor on fire. So the dangerous thing with that, and here's how I died. He was just about to hit half health, but I had to rotate because he did this fire thing. So when I was solo, I started rotating here. And then he did the fire thing, and when the fire thing actually goes off, it explodes, and it booped me backwards off the map. And if you fall off the map at this point, before you trigger half health, you die. Where once it triggers half health, see, watch, I think I might get booped here. Watch. No. But just trust me, if you're standing on the ground when that red stuff, just as it's about to go away, so it does damage over time, but then right when it goes to go away, it actually explodes and it boops you back. I had no idea it did that, and that's literally what killed me. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this stupid strike. Like, I don't enjoy it. See there, I'm taking a bunch of damage, but if you're on the ground when it actually goes to go away, it explodes and boops you back. So he was literally like that much health. So as I'm flying off the map, I chucked a melee, hoping I would hit the health gate, because when the health gate gets hit, then watch, this opens up. So what happened was I got booped back and the floor still looked like this, and I was just desperately trying to push because he like had no health till this next gate, and then the floor would have opened up. So it was just so disappointing, and I was just so annoyed. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna run it back with my same build and just do a team explanation of the GM, because look, we're at 23 minutes. That's 20 minutes quicker than when I was solo, and you just have to play so much more slowly and carefully when you're solo, where that's what I do like with teams, is I can just like go crazy and yeah, just not be so cautious. So there, look at that jolt from Darcy. That blew up all their shields and jolted, and yeah, just took a bunch out, because that's going to be your biggest threat when you're solo. So obviously we're spawning in a ton of fanatics because my teammates are just focusing boss. But what I'm doing is I'm kind of cleaning up the ads, and because I want to show you all the enemy spawns. So here we're going to put a decoy to try to bait some of them in. But if you're in a team, 100%, you can just save all your firepower for this part and demolish the boss. But you can see there was still ad spawning even late. So when you're solo, just run around, kite the boss, stay out of its line of sight because it can blind you as well, and just deal with all the ads as they spawn in. And then once all the ads are dealt with, then you deal damage to the boss again until the next enemy spawn, and you just rinse and repeat until all the enemies are dead, and then you can focus on boss. That's how you'd handle it as a solo. But in a fire team, like I said, you can just... I could have helped focus on the boss and take him down even quicker. As you saw, I was just doing ad clear. I wasn't even helping on the boss, and they still melted it that fast. So if I was helping with just boss damage, we'd have cooked it even quicker. It's just I knew I wanted to make a video on this, so I wanted to show you guys all the enemy spawns. But anyways, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found it informative. And if you did, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, good luck beating Inverted Spire. It's not very hard in a team, and it's honestly not very hard solo. You just have to be patient. And I just honestly don't have the patience for this strike because I don't really enjoy it. So anyways, hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.